Well, it's been a long, long year for our politicians. And so how else do you explain the Telegraph's front page today revealing that the New South Wales government is planning on letting drug takers escape penalties for personal use? Now, the proposal by the State's Attorney-General, Mark Speakman, would effectively decriminalise the use of small quantities of illicit drugs. Now, can I just tell you, there's a Conservative government in New South Wales, but you sure wouldn't know it. The idea apparently has come because those inside Cabinet, and this is all hush-hush because it is inside Cabinet, is that drug users would be given warnings and enforceable infringement notices instead. And they'll be given those for the first 3 times they're caught with drugs. It wouldn't be until the 4th time they face criminal penalties. Now, the Premier says she doesn't support drug decriminalisation, but has not said that she'll stop this bill. One man who's furious about this is Tony Wood. Tony is the father of drug overdose victim Anna Wood, who died after trying ecstasy for the very first time at a party when she was 15. He spent the next 25 years campaigning against illegal drug use and joined me a little earlier. Tony Wood, thank you very much for joining us.
That's fine. That's fine, Chris. All good.
What has been your reaction to what looks like a drug use policy that gives drug users such an easy ride?
Oh, Chris, when I think it was the Telegraph rang me yesterday morning and told me what was going on, they weren't really certain what it was all about, but my first thing was anger. I mean, it's just absolutely, it was white-hot anger. That's what it was. I don't know where these people are coming from, but they're talking about letting people off after sort of with a warning after their first one, another warning after the second one, maybe a fine later on, and then after a year clear the whole thing. It doesn't make any sense. Where do we find these politicians from? We don't need them. They're just a waste of space.
They seem to be going in the wrong direction.
They are definitely going in the wrong direction. The only thing that really works when it comes to drugs is zero tolerance. I mean, you only got to look at places like Singapore. And a little while ago, I had to go and assist drug test 300 on a cruise ship from America. And I said to the guy from America, how many failed the test? He said, look, we've got a zero tolerance to drugs, so we get less than 0.1 of 1%. And that's his job, just travelling the world, drug testing these crews all over the world, and they know what's going to happen, so they don't touch drugs.
Yeah, well, under this plan,
I can't.
Under this plan, they intend to issue warnings and unenforceable infringement notices, and there won't be any penalties or punishments until the 4th offence. Like, this is just the wrong approach, isn't it?
Look, Chris, the thing is that Anna was a first-time user. Most of the people that I speak to when they've lost their kids, the kids were first-time users. It's not like they're long-time drug users, that's for sure. So if they're going to die, they're going to die on the first occasion. These drugs are idiosyncratic. You just don't know who they're going to hit at any given time. Hundreds of kids take them every weekend and be fine. Some take lots of these tablets every weekend and they're fine, but all of a sudden it just grabs one, and they're the ones that go, unfortunately. And it just appears to me that this Mark Speakman, he's treating these drug deaths like they're a bit of a joke. I mean, it's like he's jumping up and down on my daughter's grave.
Well, the word is that apparently they want to unclog the courts. I would have thought if you put more money into the courts, you could get rid of that problem. You don't have to make it easier to take drugs.
Not really, no. No. They're going to unclog the courts. I just don't understand where they're coming from. I mean, if the courts are clogged up, we get some more courts. We get some more people out there working in the courts. We get some more magistrates or judges working in the courts. And let's fix the problem that way rather than having people becoming damaged with their drug use. I mean, it's not just the ones that die that are the problem. It's the ones that don't die have got brain damage for the rest of their life. I mean, they're a burden on their parents, they're a burden on Australia, they're a burden everywhere, and the poor devils can't ever be fixed once their brain's gone.
Yeah. The Premier said today, she's not for decriminalisation of drugs, and she doesn't want to call this decriminalisation, but if it's not called decriminalisation, what the hell is it?
Oh, it's definitely decriminalisation. There's no doubt about that. I think our poor Premier, I think she's been ambushed by these people in the party, and the best thing she can do is get rid of them. They're no good. I feel sorry for her. I think she knows what the problem is, and she's been pretty strong all down the line. But these people just don't give up. They're always at you, always at her in her ear. And what about the police? What the hell are the cops going to do, the poor devils? They go out and do a great job, and then these people, drug users, drug dealers, they get let off with a slap on the wrist. It's wrong. Yeah. We should back our police force up too.
Yeah, well, the police will probably get to the stage where they won't even bother charging someone because they know if it's not the fourth offence, you're not going to get a conviction out of it. Why bother?
Why bother? That's very true. You wouldn't do it, no. I mean, their job's hard enough now, and we're just going to make it tougher on them. I talk to a lot of police, and I think they're finding their job really tough anyway.
It's always good to get your insight, Tony. Thank you so much for your time.
Chris, thank you for talking to me.